All right, excellent. So we're going to go ahead and get started with today's session. I want to welcome you to the 5 essential pathways to life coach certification. This is a masterclass that I'm putting on for new and aspiring spiritual life coaches or just life coaches in general. So my name is Crystalline Bell, and I am the founder of Badass Butterfly Spiritual Life Coaching. And I'm a business mentor for women who have a deep calling from their soul to help other people heal and transform their lives. And we've come today, I put this session together today because I have a lot of brand new coaches who are like, Crystal, I don't know what to do. I don't know how to get started. And I really want to take this seriously. Like, I have this thing, it's a passion, it's my purpose, and I don't know what to do. So, today's session is going to help you learn exactly what you need to do to make this real. So, you're going to learn what you need to do to get started as a life coach with a 6-figure business. And you're going to learn also how to make this thing real for yourself now so that you can stop putting off your calling and you can start making it real for yourself. Now, if you stay until the end, okay, we're going to be here for about 75 to 90 minutes today. And if you stay until the end, you're going to get the entire slide pack that I've created for today's presentation. Also, you're going to get an opportunity to have a private one-on-one session with me for absolutely free. This session is valued at $497, and you're going to learn more about this opportunity toward the end of the session today. So again, thank you so much for joining live. And if you're just hopping on the call in the chat, actually, what I'd love for all of you all to do, because I want to learn about you, if I want to know how you want to help people. So in the chat, will you please just type us a little note and say, let me know how you want to help people. What do you feel called to help people heal or transform in in their lives? All right. Now, obviously, becoming a life coach is a really important event. It's a big decision, and it really requires extensive training for you to be effective as a coach, but also to be effective as a businesswoman. So, in our session today, I'm going to take you all on a journey, and we're going to look at things deeply, but really it's only going to scratch the surface of what you're going to need to do to get certified and to get your business launched. But I promise that I'm going to show you a way to get more support on this journey so that you can make it real, but also do it right. All right. So I want you to know that there are more people that are still coming in. So thank you all so much for joining. I see Alicia is here. Hey, Alicia, it's good to see you. I see Jen and Marie and Agnes is here and Betty is here. My goodness. Sophia has made it. This is what I call a party. This is my Sunday morning party, man. So let's get this party started. So you are in the right place. You are in the right place if you've made the decision to become a life coach and you feel eager to get started and you know that this calling is real for you. Um, Look, you're going to walk away with the clarity about what it is you need to do, and you're going to feel like you are actually ready to take the next step on your journey. And this is really important because for me, it is very real that those of us who have a calling from the heart, and I keep saying that you have a calling because it's different if you are someone who just wants to become a coach just to make money. That's a different type of calling. I am hopefully you're and you're in the right place if this is you. You are someone who feels something in your heart. You feel something that maybe flips. Like when you think about becoming a life coach, and actually, let's test Crystalline's theory here right now. If you're on the call right now and you actually have some kind of a shift in your energy or in your mind, in your heart, in your soul, when you think about becoming a coach, when you think about helping someone, in the comments, like drop a heart or put some kind of emoji or just say yes. If you're someone who actually senses, you feel a shift in the energy. I see some hearts, see some yeses. The reason this is important is because that means that you're having an actual calling. And I was just having a conversation with a friend about this morning as we were out walking, okay? And the thing that's important to understand is that your calling is a part of your purpose. Your purpose is why your soul came to earth. And what happens way too often, and this is actually a part of um, why we are on earth. You came to earth to actually help other people. That is your purpose. That is your calling. But the universe and kind of our human experience is for that calling to be thwarted. We get distracted. We get distracted by family. We get it distracted by the media, by politics, by sickness, by fatigue, by other things. And what happens is we are trained as human beings, we're kind of mistrained to put our purpose on the back burner because it seems like these other things have priority. And I want to affirm, okay, I want to acknowledge and I want to validate that the experience that you're having here on earth as a human being, the experience of pain, the experience of lack, the experience of fear, I know that those feel real for you. What I'm also here to do as your teacher, as your mentor, as someone who has gone through this before, it is my job to make sure that I see you through the eyes of unconditional love, through the eyes of the Christ consciousness, through the eyes of God, through the eyes of spirit, through the eyes of love, and hold you at something higher. So I need you all to kind of get on board with me and to make a decision right now in this moment. Is this your calling or not? If this is your calling, put a yes into the comments. What we're doing right now is we are raising your vibration inch by inch, and we are opening the pathways in your mind to allow in a new experience. Now, for me personally, I'll tell you more about my story, but I have a system that says when God says jump, I say right now. I'm going to do that right now. I don't ask questions. I don't put it off. I don't make excuses. And I believe God when God says, do this. I know that God doesn't tell me to do something now and then expect me to do it later. When God says, do it now, I do it now. Is there anyone who can relate to that or who has that same kind of understanding of God and the universe on the call? Give me an amen in the comments if you can relate to this. Okay, Haley's like, amen. I know, Haley, you be doing that. You're somebody who's taken action. Agnes says, amen. Marie, amen. Okay, there are a lot of amens on here. All right. Yes, excellent. Very good. So the reason, again, I'm affirming this and taking you all through this in this way is because I'm an activator, I'm a catalyst. I provide the an opportunity for for you to step through the portal into your divine purpose in a supported manner, right? It is difficult. It is difficult to say yes to your purpose when you don't feel supported. It is difficult to say yes to your purpose when you don't understand how the universe will rush to support you when you say yes. So, one of the things I'm doing is giving you different levels to say yes so that you can start to feel that support. Is there anyone on the call right now who can relate to what I'm saying? Do you feel supported just in this moment? You feel safe to be where you are. You feel like you've made a good decision to get up this morning, get on Zoom, and actually listen to some chick in Paris who claims she's living her best life in Paris, but I don't know. Maybe she's not. Maybe she's faking it. Maybe that's a fake background behind her. But you probably just saw my dog walk in, which proves that that's not a fake background. Yes. Okay. Good. There are a bunch of yeses here. Excellent. Very good. I'm glad. Welcome. So, welcome everyone to the session. And my approach is really unique because I'm someone who comes from a very strong pain body. And what I've had to do was pursue my purpose in spite of the pain. So, what that has done is allowed me, because pain is a great teacher. So, what it's done is it's allowed me to create a system that understands pain, but also creates the structures of support so that you can actually get through the hard work of becoming a life coach, but also doing it with grace. I won't say with ease because I know that there are a lot of challenges, but I like grace, okay? So my job is to help you get through your coaching certification with grace. And that's why we're here. This is the very, very, very first step in getting certified as a life coach. All right. I understand the difficulties that come along with learning how to do this work. I understand what it takes to set up a business brand new from scratch, to go from having zero clients to having a list of 10,000 plus people that are listening to you, reading your newsletter, getting serviced by you, enrolling in your programs, and also, of course, paying you for the work that you're offering. All right. So my job is to help you not only learn how to coach, it's to also certify you, which includes learning how to actually build your coaching business. So we're going to be talking about all of that. One of the biggest challenges that new coaches face is how to go from being an employee to being an owner. So, how do you shift from getting a paycheck that comes every 2 weeks or every week or every month? How do you go from that to actually being the source of your own income? And I want to tell you, it's both, it's an inner game and an outer game, and you need both. So all of these things require immense mentor support, especially in the beginning. So one of the things you're going to learn about me is that I'm very, very systematic and I like to take things one step at a time, which can be incredibly frustrating because especially as spiritual people, we have a tendency to kind of like be like butterflies. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to hop on this flower and suck of its nectar for this moment. And then I'm going to go over here and do this other thing. All right. And while that is really beautiful to witness in nature, when it comes down to actually getting shit done, butterflies, okay, butterflies do be getting shit done, but you and I, we actually have to build a business. All right, my friend, we actually have to like build our house brick by brick. Okay, we can't just be flitting around doing this and that according to what we feel. We actually have to have a system. All right. So, um, one of the things that I do is instead of giving you all the information, giving you everything and then just saying, hey, go do it. I gave you the information. I did my job. No, what I do is I shepherd you. All right. I hold your hand and I say, hey, here's step one. Let's get through step one. When that's done, then we move on to step two. I'm curious. For me, that's very relaxing. I have a Virgo moon. Does it feel relaxing to you to go step by step, or does that feel stressful? Be honest, I am perfectly okay because I know that going step by step actually stresses people out. Who feels, how do you feel? Are you on the relaxed team or on the no, hell no, Crystalline, that stresses me out team? Jen says both. Agnes says relaxed. Agnes is extremely relaxing. Yes. Right? Both. Okay. Marie says Taurus moon and Gemini rising. It's a conflict. Okay, you are straight up correct. Tara, relaxed. Sophia Maria, Scorpio sun, Gemini moon. Wait, okay. Gemini rising. Okay, y'all are giving me the y'all are giving me the tea over here, okay? Get both Gemini moon. Okay, we got a lot of Gemini energy on this call, which is awesome. I love that. Cancer moon. Okay. So, your moon tells you where you feel safe, right? For me, my Virgo moon means that I feel safe when there is structure and order, which is why I know that this is why God put me in this role, because what I've done is I've taken this very complicated thing, which is life coaching, helping, dealing with trauma, dealing with pain, dealing with goals, dealing with dreams. And I've created a system to help coaches like you actually be able to take your wonderful ideas and bring them into a form. All right. So that is my strength. And this is where, be calm, born new moon Libra. Go on, Alicia. I love it. Excellent. So, you all, what you're going to find as you work with me is there's this balance between the feminine, right? Those of you who have the Libra moon, the Cancer moon, there was another one I saw in here. Hold on. The Scorpio sun, all right? The Taurus moon, y'all are up in your feminine. Y'all are very feminine. And I know some of you are going to be like, I'm very masculine, Crystalline. I think all the time. But actually, no, you do not. You do think all the time, but you be feeling more than you be thinking. All right. Y'all feel, you get downloads, your heart leads. All right. I know my people. Okay. Now, the problem with being in your feminine like that is that you have a tendency to be like that butterfly that can come over here, but then you get called to something else. When somebody comes into the room, you're empathic, so you get pulled off your course because of what other people are experiencing. I did a whole master class on that a couple of weeks ago, holding space for trauma. I know some of you all have attended that. All right. You know what I'm talking about. So, the problem that you're going to have to deal with, in addition to the big issue that I'm going to talk to you about in a few minutes, the problem is that you're empathic and it's hard to stay grounded and focused on your purpose because what's happening in the news will pull you off. What's happening with your children will pull you off. What's happening with your neighbors will pull you off. What's happening around you will pull you off your focus, and you have a hard time coming back, right? My job is to hold space for you so that you can actually get your work done at the same time that all this stuff is happening. My job is to keep you grounded. All right. Now, let me get on track here. I'm excited. I want to tell you all a little bit about me. And I know that you all, most of you know me, right? We've been friends a really long time, either on Facebook or in real life, or we've just worked together, whatever. A lot of you all know me. But I want to share with you my story from maybe a different perspective. All right. Um, because a lot of times you will see me, you'll see other coaches, and you see us while we are in our mode of thriving, right? Like, so right now you see I'm living in Paris, and I have a big relationship with Paris, France. I love it, you know. Um, I've grown my coaching business to where I'm making $360,000 a year, right? And I'm really, really proud of that because that wasn't easy to do. All right. That was not actually easy to do. It took a lot of work. Okay. And not only did it take a lot of like work to get to that point, it took a lot of understanding of what the system is to actually make that real and to make it sustainable, right? So creating consistent income is really important for me because what I learned early on as a coach was that, okay, I could make a lot of money 1 month, but then I would make no money for 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. That was a problem, right? So I had to figure out the system and create that. And then I had to build it and make it teachable so that I could share the message with other people, right? So that's my whole thing. But it didn't just happen overnight, right? So right now, I'm living a really good life, right? I get up in the morning, I do my yoga, I do my meditation, I do my blogging, I write. I then take my beautiful dog for a walk in the woods. Okay, I'm surrounded by beautiful trees and flowers, and it's fragrant, right? And then I get to walk into the city. I live in the one of the most the bestest cities in the world, okay? I get to have a croissant and some chocolate. It's a fucking good life, all right? So it wasn't always this way, okay? It was not always this way. This is not how life began with me. I began as a child with low self-esteem. I struggled. I struggled in my body. I struggled, in my emotions. I had my period when I was 8 years old. Okay. I had acne and breasts and a period at age 8. And, my hair was falling out. I had boils. It was not an easy childhood. All right. But there was always a connection to spirituality. There was always a connection to God, and there was always a feeling of hope and optimism. And on the surface, there was a belief that I could achieve whatever I put my mind to. But the problem, and can I just ask you, who believes that you can achieve whatever you put your mind to? Let me see it in the comments, y'all. Moi. Yes. Me. Yes, right? We believe that we can achieve whatever we put our minds to. But why in the hell is it so hard to do? Why? 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 Why am I only making $360,000 a year right now when I told myself I'd be making $1 million by the time I was 40 and here I am 54? Why? Okay. Why? So my point is this. Number one, we have a journey. Number two, there are some structures internally that are meant to be worked through. We were not all put on earth equal so that we could all have the same things. No, we were not. We were put on earth differently so that we could work with those differences and do one thing. One thing. That is to come back to light. My differences, my dark skin, my hair that falls out, okay? That is an opportunity for me to come to light. Whatever your adversity is, whatever your challenges are, those are your opportunities to come to light. So no, we were not here equally. We all have the same light within, but we came here to overcome very, very, very different obstacles and challenges. Why is this important? Well, because on my journey to becoming a life coach, and particularly the life coach and mentor that I am right now, I had to fight against those feelings of unworthiness, those feelings of self-doubt, and I had to take a risk and break out of the mold of who I was, who I thought I was, who I was told I was, so that I could step into my true power. So what I thought was supposed to happen was I thought that it was just supposed to kind of magically come because I wanted it very, very badly, right? And then I thought, okay, well, you have to work really, really hard. And actually, it was none of that. It was not about the wanting. It was not about the working hard. It was about doing that one thing, coming back to source, embodying that light, and then moving forward from that high vibrational place within and making high vibrational choices for myself. So I started off this conversation talking about coming into your purpose and putting your purpose first before everything else. In order to do that, it requires a mindset shift. You can't just say, I want to make my purpose first, right? Because if you want to put your purpose first, but you have beliefs, thought patterns, and habits that actually mean that your purpose can't come first because this has to come first. And you can't do this because that has to come first. And you can't really put your purpose first because you're not quite ready yet. If that is the mindset, that is in direct competition with your purpose. Your job is to understand that actually your purpose was always first. You just had these opportunities to believe otherwise. Opportunities, right? Challenges, obstacles, limitations, whatever. Okay, they're all opportunities for you to become more divine, right? You're expanding God by having those challenges. So now you're sitting here on this call with me and you want to be a life coach. And you want to, if you're on this call with me, you better be wanting to be a six-figure life coach. All right. Meaning, yeah, because you're either going to make six figures as a coach or you're going to be broke, because we know that you can't live in this world successfully without making six figures. You're not going to have enough money to retire. You're not going to have enough money to pay for your kids' education. You're not going to have enough money to buy property if you're not making at least six figures. Okay, that's just the reality of this world. That's just the opportunity of this world that we live in. So you have to be able to have a six-figure mentality along with your divine purpose. So what I want to encourage you to do is to include being financially successful in your purpose. Yes, my purpose is to help you. My purpose is to help you, and at the same time, to help myself and to help my children and to leave a legacy of prosperity. Does that make sense? How do you all feel about this? How do you feel about six-figure income? What's going on in your minds around six-figure income? I want to know about this right now. Talk to me about income right now. Sophia Maria, did you just say my fur babies? Are they a part of your legacy, making sure that they have what they need? Because I'm all over that charity. All right. I love that, man. Excellent. So, all right. Um, here's how is what's going through my mind? Wait, I didn't understand, Jen. One can only be of service and give generously of oneself is one if one is living abundantly. That's right. That's kind of exactly what I'm saying, Agnes. Yes. The system will be a way for generational wealth. Yes, that's what we need, right? That's what we need. And the fact that we're coming at this from a loving place, remember, I also said at the beginning of this, nobody came on this call because you were here to first make money, right? You first had the idea like, oh, I really want to help people as a life coach. And then the afterthought was like, oh, yeah, I could make money at this, right? Am I correct? Yes, I am correct. I know I am. At least that's how it was for me. I did not think about making money at it. My first thought was, oh my God, I could help people. I could help people do this. I see this problem. I could fix that. This is how we could fix this. And then I'm like, oh, how are we going to make money at that? Okay, that came later. So my point is that as a life coach, for me, the life coaching dream came alive when I realized that this calling is real and that this purpose has to come first. So I had been working in a dental office and I was there for about 10 years. I really, I'm a person who likes to work. All right. So no matter what work I'm going to do, I'm going to make the best of it and I'm going to do it well. That's my style. However, I was also very aware that I was very unhappy in my job. It was not what I wanted to do. It paid me, but it did not pay me well. I was not paid at the top of my industry. I was working 60 hours a week and I was on a salary, so I kind of had to show up in order, in order to keep my job and also to get all the work done. It was a corporate environment. It was sterile. It was in dentistry, which is great. Love helping people. I don't want to knock dentistry. It was great. I learned a lot there. but it was not my purpose. It was not creative. It was not artistic. And even though I did have a leadership role, which I appreciate that I had a leadership role, I wasn't leading my people. I was the people was working with, I know they fucking hated me. They did. They did. I was doing the best I can. I was not happy. They were not happy, and it was a mess. All right. I ended up leaving that job, and this is the problem. I left my work in that dental office not because not because I was bold and I went to my boss and I said, "Hey, you know what? I've made a big decision. I'm out of here. Here's my 2 weeks notice." Right? I'm going to pursue my holistic spiritual coaching and healing adventure. I did not do it in a bold and in a bold way. I did it um I did it out of anger. All right. Spirit kicked me. Spirit put the pressure on. I blew up. I walked in. I yelled at my boss. They said you're fired. I said I quit all at the same time. It was literally bang. We both were like, this ain't working. I'm like, this ain't working. So that's how it had to happen for me. I'm a different person today. I'm much more about like, hey, this doesn't work for me. Let's end this. Okay. But at that time, it wasn't for me. The decision I made was scary. The decision I made um, was very bold, but it was also the very much the right decision to make. It was the thing that set me on a brand new trajectory, and it brought me to where I am today. The thing that I really want to say is that even though it was scary, nothing bad ever materialized. All the things arrived. All the things showed up in exactly the right way and at exactly the right time. I found the right mentors. I found I've got another job to support me while I was, going to school. And then I opened up my own business and that was fully supported. My God, that was awesome. Just seeing the support come in, seeing the clients come in. And even in the work that I'm doing right now, it was the exact same thing. Showing up like this was was just really, really graceful and supported. So I want to check in with you all, and I want to know how you all are, like, where are you with your work, with what you're doing right now? Are you currently working in a job that you like, that you respect? What's are you currently coaching? Um, what kind of work are you doing? And the thing that I'm really wanting to get at is how do you feel about stepping into your life as a life coach? Because it's a big change, isn't it? Stepping into life coaching. And let me see, I'm reading the comments. I like this, Sophia. This is great. Promoting responsible pet ownership, educating people on pet ownership. That's really lovely. Yes. Carrying, no problem. No, I'm happy to get your messages. It's good. I've walked away from many jobs that didn't work for me. When am I going to realize my current field just isn't right? Yeah, sure, Jen. Yeah. It's scary to make the decision to leave what is unfamiliar for something totally new. I totally get that, y'all. I really get that. But The thing is, and this is why, again, at the beginning of our call, I said, if this is a feeling you have in your heart, it's different than a feeling you have in your mind, right? If coming from your heart, it's supported. If it's coming from your mind, you gotta question that. You don't know who put that there, right? But we know that if it's in your heart, that's source. That's your soul talking, right? So very good. Haley says, working 3 days a week, nice bosses, make content, and then I'll work with some people for testimonials. Boom. Okay. Marie says, I'm in limbo, working on the memoir. Yes, that's right. Very good. Very good. Look, these are all really good places. Oh, Tara, I see yours. I'm a hospice nurse and I respect it. Reiki master meditation guide. Yes. Yep. Leaving jobs when not in alignment. Absolutely. It's wonderful. So you all are clearly aware of the power of the call, the power of the soul, right? And you value, right? One of your values is being able to honor that. So I want to talk to you today about these 5 steps, these 5 pathways that you need to make this real. Because what I have understood is that you need all 5 things in order to really make this work. Now, I I sought mentorship. The thing that made that I think the reason why I'm as successful as I am is that I didn't really take a do-it-yourself approach. I did for a period, and that did not work out. Okay. That did not work out. But when I worked with mentors, my mind opened, more resources came in because I was putting more into mentorship, right? I trusted my mentors. I put myself into their hands and I did what they told me to do, right? My mentors really opened my mind to what was possible, especially when it came to the business part, right? I learned how to shift from being a worker to being an owner. And that really took a big shift. So instead of just like trading hours for a paycheck, I began to really see how I could create a real business that not only allowed me to help people, of course, that was what I wanted, but also it was getting that income to be consistent. That was also really important. And really, you all, I just want to say that actually my life is much better than I imagined it would be. Like I didn't even, when I was a kid, I dreamed really big, but I dreamed big in a wild way that was ungrounded. So it wasn't really like dreaming big. It was like really just being delusional, right? And I'm saying that in a very loving way toward myself, but I was pretty delusional as a young person, coming into adulthood and coming into this business and understanding that these ideas need to be grounded. I need to do things step by step and go about building my coaching business in a methodical way. That's when things became real. And that's when, the dreams actually started blowing up. I mean, and the fact that I'm able to live in Paris and to kind of live my lifestyle in the way that I am, um, it's magical and it's exactly where I want to be, you know? Now, let's talk about some problems that coaches face. Um, Let me ask you all in the comments to please write out whatever challenges. Give me your top 3 challenges that you're facing in your decision to become a coach or things that you're afraid of on the journey to coaching. Like, what are you afraid of? Or what are you finding difficult? Some of you are already working as coaches and healers. What are you finding difficult? Okay. I'm going to, let's see. Oh, excellent. I've gotten some more feedback I didn't see here. I'm going to just go back and read. While you all are telling me the problems, I'm going to just read these out loud. Sophia says, I haven't told many people about my mission, but I received it as a massive download. Wonderful. Tina says, I completed my certification and just got it in the mail. Congratulations. I'm confident in my faith and follow this building a business. Yeah, that's great. Tina, we can talk about how we can get you started with the business part. If that's what you're missing, I'm happy to talk to you about that. Nadira says, I'm in a weird place fighting for disability right now, but I have an urge to help. That urge is so powerful. Love reading you all. Random people approach me for help, but it's free. What are your thoughts for progression? Yeah, that's what we are here for. Nadira, you are in the right place. I'm glad you made it. Jamar, hi, Jamar. I'm a dancer, dance educator, transitioning from dance to yoga and health information. Love this. Oh my God, why was I just yesterday saying, God, in my next life, I am coming back as a dancer, period. I don't want to do anything else but come back as a dancer. Yes, absolutely. Love it. Alicia says, I'm currently not working, no income, but working through a lot of grief. Yes, Alicia, I've been reading your story. Yes, I understand. I'm so glad that you're here. Yes. Okay, so we got stuff that we can be talking about. And yes, the divine feminine consciousness, all of these wonderful things. Jen, Jen is like basic finances and marketing myself. I don't know. Oh, you're getting to the problem right now. Right on, girl. Finances, marketing yourself. My challenges. I barely have any friends, but I'm working on calling in soul aligned friends. Okay. Networking is important, Sophia. So, yes, very good. And Maria, I've spent so much time in mentorship, in and out. I have a community, but not a high income clientele. Okay, I can relate to all of this. Jamar, not enough savings. Be right back. Everybody I'm listening. Okay, income, what credentials, and finding my target audience. Okay, you all have done a wonderful job of outlining some really important things that you don't know how to do. This is very, very, very good. Excellent. So, look, here's what I want you all to understand. Ultimately, what you're experiencing is totally valid. And at the same time, I want you all to remember that that is a temporary state. It's a state of mind. It's not a state of reality. And what I'm going to encourage you to do is to shift from the unknown into a state of certainty. All right. So we're shifting from the unknown, right? I don't know how I'm going to make money. I don't know where this is going to come from. I don't know what certifications to do. I don't know exactly how to make this work. Blah, 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 right? These are the things. Unknowing into certainty. Now, the reason I'm saying it this way is because not knowing, you cannot know something and be totally certain at the same time. And what I want to help you understand is that that certainty is yours. And when you grasp that certainty, you become unstoppable. Certainty requires work, okay? And I'm going to show you the work that certainty requires. But the not knowing is simply a temporary state of mind. It is not a reality. It is simply a state that you get to transform step by step if you'll allow that. All right. Now, the number one problem that new and aspiring coaches face is that they don't know what to do. They don't know how to get started. So perhaps you've never coached anyone before, right? And I want to make a little distinction right here. Coaching is different than healing, all right? Healing you don't heal to an outcome. You coach to an outcome, which is why coaching is more challenging because you have to make a promise, and it's higher paid because you've made a promise that you've kept. So coaching is another level. Coaching is not for everybody. Not everybody in the world needs coaching. People seek coaching when they are wanting to make a big shift and they're willing to invest in it, right? We can talk about this later, but there's a lot of confusion around coaching because people tend to think of coaching and spiritual life coaching. They tend to think of that as on the same level as counseling. It's not the same thing. Coaching takes you to an outcome. So if somebody comes to me and they're like, Crystalline, I want to get married. I want to buy a house. I want to be a millionaire. My job is to say, okay, I am going to coach you through those things. As a healer, you don't say, I'm going to heal you to make a millionaire, to become a millionaire. I'm not going to heal you to become, to buy your house. It doesn't work that way, right? You, as a healer, you work with the energy. You can help remove blockages, but it's the coaching that you add into the healing that will take them to the goals, the objectives, and the outcomes that are clearly defined, right? That's what makes us coaches. Okay. So if you've never coached anyone before and you don't know how to do that, that's an issue, right? That's a valid issue. You may not know, but you can still be certain, even though you've never coached anyone before, right? Maybe you don't have your own coaching method yet that you know works. You have to have a coaching method. You can't just be talking to somebody and hope that your good advice is going to take them to the outcome. That does not work. Nobody's going to pay you thousands of dollars to just be like blah, 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 blah. You have to have a method. You have to have a system. You have to develop that system, and then you have to try it out. You have to work it through with people. You have to do that. Okay. It's a process, and you can do this. Everything that I'm saying here, you can do. All right. You just need to be certain and follow the steps. All right. Maybe you don't know how to run a business. You've always worked for someone else. Maybe you've not actually run a real business before. And, for me, a business is something that actually delivers services consistently and brings money in consistently. If you have a business and it sometimes makes money and it sometimes does not make money, it's not quite a business. It's more of a venture. You need to turn that thing into a business. A business gives service regularly and receives income regularly. A business supports you. Okay. It supports you. It supports your dreams. It supports your lifestyle. It supports your children, right? That is what a business is. Until you build those things and put all the things together, you don't quite have a business. You might be growing and developing your business, but it's not a business until it's actually paying you and taking care of you. All right. Maybe you don't know how to get clients. This is an issue. It's not obvious. Just because you're like, I'm a coach, I got certified, boom, I'm ready. Yay, boom, right? If you don't have a business and you don't know how to get clients, all right? If you don't know how to get clients, you're not going to be able to be successful. All right. You can't be a coach and call yourself a coach if you don't have clients. Okay. The other thing, and this is a big one that I hear all the time, new coaches don't know how to charge people so that they can actually make money. Like, how do I charge people? How much do I charge? So many people come in and they're like, Crystalline, I'm charging like $50 an hour for my services. Okay. Yeah, it's an issue. All right. How do you charge people? These are things we all have to figure out. So let me check in and see if you all have given me any more feedback here. It looks like Alicia, finding balance in my new life, being my stay home. Yes. Pain body reader. Yes. Yes. Alicia, you've been at this a long time. You know exactly what you're doing. You just need to get your business structure straight. We'll talk about that whenever you are ready. All right. So I have I want to share with you my slides here. Okay. Zoom, share, and I'm going to share my slides. This is the one. Okay. All right. So these are the 24 pillars for building your solid spiritual life coaching business or life coaching. Look, you all, I say spiritual life coaching because that's my specialty, but certification for me for life coaches, whether you're doing emotional coaching or whatever your thing, couples coaching, that is it doesn't matter what you call it, right? You don't have to call yourself a spiritual life coach. You can call yourself whatever you want to call yourself. The important thing for me and the approach that I take is that it's inside out. I start with spirit. I start with soul. I start with energy. I start with healing, and then I work outward. That for me is what spiritual life coaching is. But again, you can call it whatever you want. So let's see. Is this really clear? Can you all see that okay? All right, very good. Excellent. Thank you. So these are the 24 pillars for building oh my God, I cannot see. I have too many windows open. Okay, there we go. Now I can see it. All right, so these are the 24 pillars for building a solid spiritual life coaching business foundation. This is your six-figure foundation. These are the things you need to have in place. All right. And really, this is the order. Now, what I'm getting ready to do is show you 24 different things. What I don't want you to do is to get overwhelmed. All right. Can everybody just right now say to yourself, I promise that I'm not going to let this overwhelm me. All right. Just say it to yourself. I will not allow myself to get overwhelmed. Understand that all of these things are done one step at a time. You do the one, when it's done, you do the next thing. It's that simple. All right. So there's no need to get overwhelmed. You just stay in your big girl panties. All right. And you do things one step at a time. First thing you're going to do is determine who your ideal client is, and then you got to position yourself so that they understand that you are the one who has what they need. The next thing is going to be to determine your niche, which is your specialty, like the pain that you solve. Then what you're going to do is help them get clear about their pain, and you're going to get them started in your program. Okay. You're then going to coach your client so that they have measurable improvements in their life. This is what you have to do. You help your client then heal their emotional pain and trauma. You have to be able to tell your own story of pain and trauma and how you overcame it. You have to create a healing and transformation program that helps people and gives them those results. Just like I was saying, you got to coach them to that big promise. Okay, you have to be able to do these things. You have to create a system that delivers your healing and your transformation in its basic form. So it's not enough to say, like, hey, I want to get you to this promise, but we're going to just kind of feel our way through it. You cannot do that. All right. You have to be able to say, hey, this is my method. This is Crystalline's method of blah, 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 of helping you heal and transform. This is what we do in the first phase. This is what we do in the second phase. This is what we do in the third phase. All right. So creating that kind of method for yourself is really important. You also have to have like your web presence. You've got to be online. You need your website. You need your, you need your articles out there. You need your philosophy out there. You need your blog. That's where you're going to share your philosophy primarily is on your blog. You need that also for your, for social media, whatever your social media is going to be, whether it's on Facebook or LinkedIn, but you need to be able to be putting your philosophy out there on a regular basis. By the way, your own philosophy has to be developed, right? You have to have your philosophy developed. Your philosophy cannot be based on, your philosophy cannot be in your head and just this kind of nebulous stuff that you kind of talk about here and there. You actually have to write your philosophy down, argue it. Okay, you'll argue it with yourself, or you can argue it with your mentor. Okay, that's what your mentor is for, to like you to say something like, this is what I think happens. Your mentor has to say, yes, but have you considered this? And you say, oh, I haven't considered that. Let me go consider it, rewrite it, bring your philosophy back. Okay, I've developed my philosophy even deeper, right? If you are not doing that, you are not doing yourself justice. You are not doing the divine justice, because the divine is bringing these ideas to you, but not just so that you can just talk on a superficial level, but so that you can bring it down to earth and ground it and make it real and write a book about it. Okay, write a blog about it. Those things, if you write about these things, it's going to force you to make these things deep and real. Okay. Once you've done all that, you can then know what your brand is. Your brand is who you are. It's, of course, your brand is what you say, but it's also your story, like what brought you into coaching. It's your story of pain of trauma over pain. Sorry, I'm trying to say triumph over trauma. All right. So it's your story of triumph over trauma. It's your reason for being, right? The things that you value. That's what your brand is. You also must be able to communicate clearly who you are as a coach and exactly what it is that you offer, exactly how you help people. You have to be able to have a framework that lets people understand how you can help them, right? And that framework has to resonate with your people. You have to have an online community. You have to have a strategy to educate your community, right? What's the first thing people need to know about you? What's the next thing they need to know? You've got to have your social media platforms. You need to have your social media marketing campaign set up. You must have an email list. For those of you who are only relying on your followers on social media, I'm sorry, that is a dangerous game. Please do not play that. How many of you all know people who have lost their identity on Facebook? Like Facebook shut them down, Facebook put you in jail, Instagram got stolen. So many people, it's happened to me so many times. So I now rely 100% on my own email list, which is mine, right? And I do things just very differently. Your blog, right? Building and maintaining your blog site, having your video channel so that people can see you in movement, not just statically, right? And then, of course, delivering and drawing in the people that you want to serve. These are the 24 things that you need to have in place in order to really be successful and to have your six-figure program, your six-figure business. I want to check in and find out from you all. I want to find out from you all if you have any questions, give me any feedback. Do you have any, what do you think about this whole process? What do you think about doing all 24 of these things? Where are you all in the journey? Let me ask you, let's do a little assessment here. How many of you all have already kind of done phase one where you've done your own internal work and you know what it is you want to help other people heal? Has anybody done that? I know how I want to help people heal. Agnes says yes. Jen says yes. Excellent. Very good. If you all want to share that in the comments, please go right ahead. If you want to share what you know you want to help people heal, that go ahead and share it. It's awesome. Now, the next phase of that, and we're going to go over this again, but I just kind of want to feel out where you all are. You all know how you want to help people, but do you know how people want to be helped? That's my next question. Who knows how their ideal client actually wants to be helped? Who's thought about that yet? Marie says, on the verge, I asked myself, what's my philosophy? My philosophy. Then I realized, well, I already created my philosophy in my book. I just need to streamline it. Yes, Marie, the writing is so important. So yes, excellent. Great. Alicia says, you said strategy and that activated a feeling. Then you shared the steps of the strategy perfectly. Thank you. You're welcome. I need to know. Yes. Okay. They want a real solution to the problem. My engineering mind is good at this approach. Yeah, Jen, exactly. I thought about how, but I came up with many answers. Yes, Nadira, that makes sense. Okay, very good, Tina. All right. So that's going to be fun. All right. So let's look at this second part. Tina's already into it. The people that you're going to help is the next biggest part of this. And to be honest with you, I have yet to meet the new coach who has this part down. And I want you all, the reason I'm saying this is because I want you all to understand that even though as a coach, you start off with your own issues and you move forward with that, your work as a coach is going to be to actually put your ideal client ahead of your own trauma. So what I mean by that is you understand your trauma because you lived it. That is working with your trauma and using your trauma to help other people is ideal. Okay, you're qualified to do that. But the thing to understand is that the way you are experiencing your trauma is different for your clients because your clients don't have the touch of God saying you're going to use this to help other people. You're the one who does. And this is the big thing that new coaches miss. They think, oh, I'm going to help these people. I know what they're going through. But actually, what you don't know what they're going, well, you do know what they're going through, but you can't do it your way. You have to do it a different way because you have been touched by God and told that you have to serve other people with this thing. So you're a teacher, not the student, right? So you all are the teachers, you're not the students. So you have to kind of come into this. Yes, you're a teacher, you're a student too, but your imprint is teacher. So you're learning things and experiencing things differently than your clients are. So this is a huge part of your coaching is understanding things from your clients' perspective. All right. Suffice it to say that the third thing that you're going to need to be doing, and actually what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to jump into the next, I'm going to give you all the solution to all this, and I'm going to share my screen again. Here we go. Boom. share. And so why did Crystalline say that she was why did Crystalline schedule this on the day that she knew she was going to be fasting? Because Crystalline's a glutton for punishment. That's all. That's all. You're just seeing Crystalline sitting here, hungry, stomach's growling, and uh, she's teaching still. Okay, that's all right. So how are we going to do these things? We are going to skip this. Actually, we're going to come right here. We're going to talk about those. Oh, Nadira, I'm not alone. Yay! Excellent. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. Oh my gosh, that's good. Hey, congratulations, Jamar. Did his first 2-day fast last week. Yeah, it is amazing. It is so powerful. So congratulations. Yay, us. So I brought you all here to show you these 5 pathways. So I want to show you these 5 pathways. I'm going to first give you an overview, and then we're going to come back and do the assessment with these 5 pathways. All right. So there are 5 of them. The first one is the pathway of healing. All right. You're going to explore your soul and your story of triumph over trauma. Pathway 2, you're going to establish your ideal client and your niche. Pathway 3, you're going to work on your program methodology and you are going to build out your program. Pathway 4, you're going to work on your web assets and start putting your program, or you're going to start building the home for your program. And then pathway 5 is the way of emergence. And that's where you're going to actually put your business out there and you're going to be enrolling students. So let's tuck into pathway 1 right now. So pathway 1, we're going to now evaluate ourselves. I want you in the comments to put a 10 how you feel like you're prepared for this. Are you ready for pathway 1? Have you done any work on pathway 1? If you've done a lot of work and you feel really confident around pathway 1, you're going to put in 10. If you feel pretty shaky about it, then you're going to put in a 1. Now, pathway 1 is about understanding the shadow part of yourself. It's looking at your limiting beliefs. It's doing your own internal, uh, explorations. It's doing shadow work. All right. It's looking at the trauma that you've gone through, right? Looking at your inner child and seeing all of her weak spots. Okay. That's pathway 1. You all have good numbers here. 7s, 8s, 10s, right on. Okay. Very, very, very good. Excellent. A lot of people are very confident here because this is like in my certification program, right? Pathway 1 is where we spend about 3 months and we are looking at you. We're looking at your story. We're looking at, it's like you're doing your own self-coaching and self-illumination. You're looking at your habits. You're looking at your coping mechanisms. You're looking at your emotional patterns. You're dealing with your shadow. So important. I don't like to skip this. There are so many people in certification programs, they absolutely skip this part. And for me, it's crucial because this is how you learn all about your shadow. This is where your philosophy starts to get really rich and deep. And that's what you want. You do not want a superficial philosophy that's just about, oh, love and light, love and light. Nope, you need to have some deep shadow in there. So pathway 1 is really important. Jamar says, I'm coming out of the dark night at a 9. Yep, I get that, Jamar. Yep. Now, pathway 2, this is really important. Pathway 2 is where you really start to look at your ideal client. So this is where you're asking yourself, how can you be of service? This particular pathway, we spend about 2 months just working through this in my certification. I want you all to rate yourself on pathway 2. How well do you understand the people that you want to work with? On a scale of 10, you know those people. You know them very well. You know exactly how you want to heal them. You know exactly what you need, what they need. If you're at a 1, it's more like, I don't even know who I want to help. I just know I want to help somebody. All right. So yeah, the numbers here are good. These are a nice mix. Jen is like a 9.8. Tina says a 6. Agnes is an 8. 7 out of 10 for Nadira. 10 on pathway 1. On pathway 2, I'm a 7. I get it. 7.5. Very good. I would love in the comments, if you want to, um, tell me what you think you might be missing around pathway 2. Now, while you all are kind of writing that in there, I consider pathway 2 to be where you've taken your pain and you've applied it to how it's going to show up for the people you want to help. Meaning, you know that, like, let's say that my pain, my core wound is unworthiness. And what I've learned is that I like to work with people who are suffering from unworthiness and they're having issues um, in their business. And so I tend to work with people who have unworthiness issues around business, right? So that's kind of the connection that I have with people, right? All right. Difference between feeling and body sensation. That's really important. Yeah, Tina, that makes sense, actually. And Sophia says, yes, same. Yeah. Okay. Right. Okay. Very good. So for me, and when I'm working with my students in certification, we spend a solid 2 months looking at pain, and we do it using both the feminine and the masculine. We use the feminine because you all know the feminine is very much about feelings, emotions, and the realm of ideas, right? The feminine is about also the kind of the shadow side of the feminine is the pain body, what we experience as pain, right? So doing that deep work is really important, and then bringing it into the light. This is where we actually create alchemy. What we're doing is we're taking that pain and we're turning it into something valuable by creating a program that helps other people heal the pain. This is the real meaning of alchemy, right? We're taking something dark and we're turning it into something light, and we're using it to help the world heal. Very, very powerful. That's what we're doing in pathway 2. Now, pathway 3 is the way of offering. This is where your spiritual philosophy is really clear. So on a scale of 1 to 10, I want you all to tell me how clear, if your philosophy is really clear and it's in writing, that would be a 10. If you are kind of like, I don't know, I know I have a lot of thoughts, I have a lot of beliefs, but I haven't put them in writing, give yourself around a 5 on that. And if you're like, I have no idea, I don't even know what you're talking about, then give yourself a 1. Okay. Yeah, Marie, you should be at an 8 because you are like writing. That's good. You've dedicated your time and your life to this project. So that's philosophizing. Okay, that's spiritual philosophy at work. All right. Yes, very good. Okay, gotcha. We've got some 6s, 8.5. Yep, Jamar's, it says 3, Nadira 4. 4, all just written thus far. Okay, very, very good, y'all. Very good. Now, with this pathway, you're also taking your philosophy and you are literally building out your educational program. And the reason I'm saying it this way is because there's the thought of the educational program, and then there's the structure. Week 1, we're going to do this. Week 2, we're going to do this. Week 3, we're going to do this. Week 6, we're going to be doing this. By the time all that's done, they will have this outcome. This is where you are building out the thing that you offer. So you have to have methodology, you have to have milestones, you have to have exercises, workbooks, you need a curriculum that's written out, right? And then on top of it all, you have to have it priced, okay? You have to have it priced. So you are now, and when you're in pathway 3, you're building out your marketing strategy as well, because now you have a program, you want people to come into it, right? You want people to start paying you for it. This is important. So that's what you're doing in pathway 3. This pathway, we spend about 8 weeks, maybe up to 10 weeks on this. Um, it's time consuming to build out a program, man. It's time consuming to get yourself certified and to build all these pieces out, right? And it takes, consistent work, right? But if you do it step by step, it should be okay. All right. Let's look at, oh, this is pathway 3 continued. Create your social media group. So yeah, pathway 3 is actually a lot, because this is now where you're going to start getting ready to put yourself out there. So let's look at pathway 4. Pathway 4 is where you are building your website. You have your blog up. You are on Facebook. You're on Instagram. You're on YouTube. You're on TikTok. You are making videos. Who's doing this right now? If you are at a 10, if you're doing this right now, put yourself as a 10. If you are like, okay, I know I should be doing this, I'm kind of doing it. Sometimes I make posts, then give yourself a 5, or you can give yourself a 0, as Agnes just did. If you were like, I am doing nothing, I'm doing none of this yet. That's okay. You all are just getting started. It is totally just fine. Tina says just Facebook. Nadira at a 4. Marie's at a 7. Yes, Marie, I do see you doing stuff online. Yeah, I see that. Jamar's at a 4. Excellent. So look, you all are seeing where you need some help, right? You're starting to see like, okay, I know what I need to do. Let's look at the very last pathway, which is pathway 5, the way of emergence. All right. So this is where you're basically bringing everything together. You have a launch strategy. All right. Who knows what I mean by launch? Does anybody know what I mean by launch? If you know what a launch is, uh, drop me a 10 in the comments. Nadira knows what a launch is, and I saw the one before. Jamar, you know what a launch is. Some of y'all know. Sophia's like, okay, you all know what a launch is. For me, let me tell you what I understand a launch to be. A launch is when you do a series of events that bring people into your program. It can be an ebook and a master class, and then an enrollment event or something like that. Okay, that's what a launch is. Pathway 5 for my students, what I do is I take them through building out all the steps of their entire launch, and then we roll it out together while you're still in the program. All right, that is that is pathway 5. That process, in reality, if you've been doing everything, it can take anywhere from 2 weeks to 4 weeks, depending on how you do it. All right, depending on what you're going to be doing. But a basic launch you should be able to get through within 4 weeks. So I want to ask you all, if you have any questions, give me any feedback or any questions that you have right now. And if you want to unmute and speak instead of typing, you're more than welcome to. Let's have you raise your digital hand for me if you have a question or you have any feedback that you want to share. If you do your digital hand, I will be able to see you. Tina, yes, please unmute yourself. Hi.
Hi, did that work?
Yes, I can hear you now. Yes.
I'll need the assistance on how to continue to go forward. I see where I need some work on some things, but I like the layout for the 24 pillars, and it helps me from being overwhelmed and knowing how to handle the tasks. And then it's also helping me stay grounded and having a task to do daily, weekly, monthly to be able to accomplish that. So that's something I'm looking forward to. Is a way you can like help me with that. I
Yeah.
would greatly appreciate that.
Yeah, look, that's as far as I'm concerned, that was the question that I asked when I was a new coach. The thing I said was, okay, I see what I got to do. How do I do it? What's the first step? So, look, you all, and yes, I did, Haley, I said that there will be slides. We're going to email slides to you all that are here on the call for sure. Um, how do you get started? There are a couple of options, all right? So I want to invite you all to come into my certification and business building program, right? I want to invite you to do that. You've just seen the 5 pathways. Those are the 5 pathways that I use to take my students through. We start off on pathway 1. We work on your own internal process. Pathway 2, I start helping you bring that into your clients. We discover who your ideal client is, then we start getting you in touch with who they are. We get you in we unpack your ideal client and learn the language that they need to hear so that they can recognize the gift that you are going to be bringing them. Pathway 3, we build out your entire program. We put it online. Pathway 4, we build out your website. It's step by step, one step at a time. It's actually really simple. We keep it simple, okay? Because there's a lot to be done, but one step at a time, okay? Once we build all those things out, then you are ready to launch. Then we put that launch strategy in action and you start bringing your people into your coaching business and you start delivering on your promises. All right. Jamar, go right ahead.
Hi, just really quickly. Sorry if it's loud. I'm at a hotel and my dance students are competing today. So I
Congratulations. I
apologize
hope
about the
they,
background noise.
yes.
Yeah. So my question is, I went from a dancer, right, and you're under contract, and so that would be similar to a 9 to 5, to now a former dancer, and now I teach, right? So now I'm getting a little bit of um I'm a sole proprietor, right?
Mhm.
I negotiate my salary. I seek out the jobs, but it's not all the time, like you were saying. So I can't really call it a business. So now I guess the next step that I'm looking at would be to coach. And through my healing, dancers go through a lot of trauma. Um, whether it's in the studio or just abandonment issues in general,
Yep.
moving from country to country, it is a nomads, nomads, life for dancers to just move around from state to state, company to company. And there are abandonment issues, leaving your family behind and friends. And so that's been my journey. And so I want to create a whole program around yoga for dancers that I've never seen before that would not only help me, but also help other dancers kind of heal as they dance and afterwards.
I love it.
So
I
yeah, your
love
program,
this.
you just answered like you would help me step by step go through all of these steps. So
100% Jamar. And the thing is, it really touches my heart because it's the artist, right? And
yes.
and these all of the people on this call are artists, even though they don't identify as it, you know. Jen identifies as an engineer. Agnes identifies as an academician, as somebody who works in academics. Okay, I do not know how to say the word. Okay, but what tends to happen, and especially there are a lot of women on this call. There's an extremely sensitive artistic nature, and all of that comes through that can be healed. And that is where I think, Jamar, your work is going to be so powerful for these dancers, to bring that, to keep that feminine alive and flowing, but also understanding that she has a shadow side. The feminine Lilith is there, and she is powerful, and she's the one. It's Lilith who dances. It's not Eve who dances, okay? It is Lilith who is the one who's powering those dancers. And Lilith is the wound. The first wound of God is Lilith. So I think that the work that you're doing, or you're putting together, is so powerful and going to be so good for your community. It's going to be just wonderful. So yes, that's how I would help you. We would do it step by step. Okay.
Namaste. Thank you. And before I leave, I just want to say you're so beautiful inside and out. I love you.
Oh,
I saw your video with the wheel, the badass wheel. I wrote everything out and I put it on a small board, a big board. I just love your stuff. So I'm excited.
thank you. Thank you. Look, Jamar, I'm
Yes.
going to give you actually I have a link. I'm going to give this link for everyone who's here. If you're interested in working with me, then I want to invite you into a strategy session with me where you and I will sit down and talk one-on-one. All right. This is going to be just the two of us. And I'm going to put this right now in the link. And I know you're going to have to run, Jamar, but everyone take that link down and book yourself in for a call. All right. This session, this strategy session, it's going to be you and I for about 50 minutes, 50. All right. And it's basically an opportunity for me to listen to you and hear what it is you want to do to help people, right? I need to listen to that so that I can make sure that I can be of service to you, right? I am systematic, and I I do I want to help everybody, but I can't help everybody. You might have something that does not fit in with my way of working. I want to give you, though, the opportunity to talk to me about what you want to do. And I want to um, give you my feedback, my professional feedback. And then you get to decide whether what I'm offering fits with you or not. And and I get to decide whether what you're offering or what you want to do fits with me or not, right? So we'll do this during that strategy session. And it's a really just a lovely way for us to come together and connect. All right. So book yourself in for that. And just to kind of give you a little idea, look, when I normally do these sessions, they are valued at $497, and I'm offering them to you all as a complimentary session. So don't worry, you don't have to pay anything. Just get yourself booked in. I do ask that you book in this week because next week I'm going to be moving on to some different things. The enrollment for my certification program is now. It's open now. The enrollment closes on April 13th. So if you want to participate, if you want to be considered for this particular session, you need to take action right away. So use that strategy session link and book yourself in as soon as possible. All right. Now, during the session, what are we going to do? We're going to make sure that we uncover any personal money blockages. All right. We got to talk about money because you got to make money. Right. And if you have any blockages, you're going to need to know how to deal with them. You need to know that going into certification so that you know that you have to deal with those as you're getting certified. If you have money blockages and you don't deal with them, you're going to get certified and have money issues in your business. And we don't want that. Certification is the time to deal with your money blockages. All right. Now, another thing that we're going to do is to look at your story of pain. We look at that because it's the foundation of how you're going to help people, right? So what we want to do is look at that story of pain and see where you have hard-earned wisdom. Okay. Hard-earned wisdom is that wisdom you got because it was hard. It was hard to do. You went through some stuff. It was difficult. All right. So now the next thing that you want to do, and the next thing that you're going to get when we're together is get really, really clear. Remember earlier I said that you need to be certain. Okay. I want you during our strategy session to step into a space of certainty. What do I mean by certainty? Certainty is knowing that you want, that you deserve, that you can be, and that you are aligned with becoming a six-figure life coach. Knowing that for certain. Certainty. You don't have to know. You don't have to have all the answers. You can even have money blockages. And at the same time, you are certain that you will overcome the money blockages. You will learn all the things and you will do all the steps. That's what certainty is. I want you to have certainty. If you have certainty, there is nothing that will hold you back from being successful as a life coach. All right. Are there any questions, any comments, any concerns?
So what's the difference? Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead. Please go ahead. I'm just wondering the schedule and the itinerary for the certification container.
Yes. Jamar, give me just 1 second. Sophia, was that you?
Yes.
Okay, yes. Okay, cool. I wasn't sure because the little thing jumped around a little bit, but yes. So it's a 12-month program. All right. And look, we got a lot to do, don't we? We got to spend 3 months just working on the inside and getting to the pain. Then we got to apply it to our ideal client. Then you got to build your program. And then you got to build your marketing strategy. Then you got to build your social media strategy. It takes time to do all that,
Thank you.
It's 12 months and wait, you had asked like what the schedule is. So the way it works is the curriculum is online. There are videos, workbooks, worksheets, all that stuff, audio stuff to listen to, whatever. All of that stuff is online. We meet. I have group sessions 2 or 3 times per week, and you come to those group sessions at your own volition. So You can come to all 3 sessions, or you can come to 1 session, or you can skip a week because you're like, I'm already working on this. I don't need any help. But I believe that new coaches need support. I believe that if you've never run a business before and you've never coached somebody, you need a mentor who can be there to help you, to talk to you, to answer questions and all this thing. You don't have to come to the sessions, but I'm there. So we have 3 live group sessions per week. As part of your regular tuition, you'll have 1 private monthly session with me each month so that we can do a deep dive, make sure that you're getting everything you need on a personal level, or you can connect with me in any way that you need to during that month, right? I believe in support. So that's how it works. The sessions are there for you to use as a group as you want to, and then your private session, you and I set together according to your schedule, our schedules. Does that help?
Yes.
Okay, excellent. All right. Jamar?
Oh,
Yes.
I got to run. But just real quick, I was wondering, just touching
Oh,
upon what you were just saying, do you consider certainty the same as faith? If not, how are they different?
I see certainty as stronger than faith. Faith is a little bit wavering, right? You can go in and out, right? Certainty and faith, the role of faith is to go in and out. The more you go out, the stronger your faith is when you come back in, right? Certainty, you really need to be standing solid. And the thing that I try to get, well, the thing that I do is I help you become certain by helping you step into the mindset of the person that is certain. So, what I mean by that is if you want to be a millionaire, you cannot be a millionaire if you have a 2 cent mindset, right? A 2 cent mindset means that you have 2 cent habits, you have 2 cent thought patterns, you have a 2 cent, like your thoughts are at the level of 2 cent. You will never become a millionaire. The only way to become a millionaire, and you can do it instantly, is to become, embody the millionaire mindset, right? So that means you have the thought patterns of a millionaire, you have the habits of a millionaire, and you take the actions of a millionaire, you do all the millionaire things. It's not about how much money you have in the bank. The money will surely come. We're certain of that because you've embodied the mindset, right? So my job is to help you step into the mindset of the 6-figure coach, and it begins from day one. We do mindset stuff, and then we just are constantly bringing you back, bringing you back. What does a 6-figure coach do? This is what they do. This is how they behave. It's okay if you fall off. You get back on. You come back into certainty because certainty is your leader. Cool. All right. Excellent.
Thank you so much. Brilliant, brilliant.
You're welcome.
Yes.
You're
All
welcome.
right. Talk soon.
Yeah. See you soon. Bye. Bye. All right. Are there any other questions or any other concerns?
Sure. Is there a capacity limit for participants in this program?
Yes, we
Or
have.
what's, yes.
So I'm taking 12 new students now. We've already, so
Okay.
we've opened it up for 12 and we have 4 that have already enrolled.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. And again, enrollment, we can talk more about this during the strategy call.
Right.
You all are, if you all have a passion, there's a very good chance that I would accept you into the program. The thing that you have to be willing to do, right? And I only work with people who are coachable and who are willing to do hard things because it's hard. It's not easy, right? And I'm not even going to try to be the person who's like, "Oh yeah, it's easy. All you have to do is." It's not like that. It's mindset that we're dealing with, and we are dealing with trauma. Becoming a coach is about overcoming your trauma. So everything you do, all 5 of those pathways, you're going to have to deal with another level of your own trauma. But it's also healing. That's why we do it, because it is super healing. This is you stepping into a higher version of yourself, which is healing in and of itself.
Okay.
Excellent. Any other questions? Agnes, did you have a question? I wasn't sure because you jumped up to the front. Wait, okay. I see Maria. Marie.
I do not have a question. I just wanted to say it's just so funny that you're talking about certainty because my memoir is all about the fool's journey. And it's like my whole introduction is based off of new beginnings, being a bold and risk taker, and literally like stepping into the fullness of your existence.
I love this.
And it's just so funny because I'm like, part of my intro is embracing the unknown. And you just said, certainty is your leader, which at the end of my book is literally what it's all about. So it's just, we talked the other day briefly about how I had a download that a mentor was going to randomly reach out, and then you did. And then, yeah, it was just super weird. I just love the synchronicity. But I wanted to say the certainty is your leader is such a profound statement.
Yeah.
And I don't know. I think that's just, that like spoke directly to my soul. I usually don't talk in these things either. Like, I'm usually the quiet one, but I just wanted to say that, I appreciate that. That really, really resonated deeply with my soul.
Yeah, well, I'm glad. And thank you for sharing that. And I love that this is where your memoir is going. Because I think it's vital, which is one reason why I do I teach the things that I do because I believe in them. These things are really, really, they're essential. And as life coaches, we need to start embodying them, embodying these ideas as soon as we step into our role as coach. When we step into the certification process, that's the thing that's when it really begins. Certification is a sacred initiation. It's not superficial. It's not just about like, oh, just watch these videos. No, this is an opportunity for you to go into the cocoon of certification, be that caterpillar that is melting away, melting away and getting slurped up by the badass butterfly inside.
Mhm.
Ew, so gross and yet so powerful, right? That butterfly inside the cocoon is actually consuming the old self, the matter of the old self. It's like fertilizer. It gives strength to the wings. It gives strength to the limbs, so that the butterfly has all the energy it needs to break free. That last part, the fifth pathway, the way of emergence. It's about the cocoon, breaking free from the cocoon, right? Excellent.
I love that metaphor. That's beautiful. Great analogy.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Zura said, "Where's Apollo?" Apollo is over there knocked out, as he should be. All right. He had his 2 hour walk today with his friend. There he is, him sleeping. Him sleeping. Being my sweet little boy. Such a good dog. All right, let's see. So let's see. Sophia says, "From can have certainty in unlimited ways, but unlimited ideas. But faith most certainly has to do with God, with belief and knowing of the spiritual, non-physical realm, divinity, and heaven." Uh-oh, did I lose you? What happened? There you go. Beautiful, Sophia. Beautiful. All right, y'all. If there are no more questions, I'm going to go ahead and leave you right now. I want you all to please book yourselves in for your six-figure strategy call. Do it, please, within the next week. Make sure you get in. And look, I look forward to talking to you and learning more about you and your desires. And
Yes.
I'll see y'all soon.
Yeah, just a moment, Crystal. May I just go
Yeah.
up to the link you shared with us so I can open it before you close the
Yes. Do you want
room?
me to, maybe I'll post it again. Let me post it
Yes,
again just in
please.
case,
If
because sometimes it's not easy to catch. There we go. Do you see it,
okay.
Sophia?
Now I'm scrolling all the way down. Yes, I see it now. Okay,
Okay,
I'll open
good.
it. And
Excellent.
is this we won't be receiving it in our mail, right? So
I
this
will. Look,
for
I'm going to send it.
I have I actually do have a link to schedule a call with you. So that's wonderful. Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, excellent. I look forward to spending time with you.
Okay.
All
Thank
right,
you.
good, excellent. Anybody else before we sign off? Thank you, Alicia. All right, I'll see y'all later. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Ciao.
Enjoy your day.
Thank you.